Waking up in Boston town, best pups in the city all around. Let's get that tail wagging right, making every good day so bright. It's the Common Dog Podcast. Yeah, the Common Dog.
Hi, welcome to the Common Dog Podcast. I'm Laura Donnell, your host, and with me I have JB, my general manager, and this is Pearl. Pearl, who is shedding quite a bit. Lovely. Pearl is one of our staff members' dogs, and she is a resident here at the Common Dog, so we get to spend a lot of time with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but you need a little bit of a brushing, don't you, baby? So today we're presenting Cuddle Time here at the Common Dog. Slight different venue in terms of where we are and what we're talking about per se. It's just more of a chill, kind of an unstructured, relaxed conversation that sort of is going to flow and see where it goes. So I think we had talked a little bit about just sort of what it's like to be a woman in the training field.
Yeah. I told you I looked up statistics and whatnot on all of that because I was looking up our demographics for the social media platforms and everything. And just as a whole, you know, the pet care industry is 80%. I'm going to get it a little mixed up because like 80 and 85%. I think it's 80% women. Yeah. 85% of the consumers is women.
Yep.
It might be flipped. I can't remember exactly.
One or the other.
One or the other.
Somewhere in there. Somewhere 80-something.
Yeah. But in the training side, it's actually more like 65%. So it's the more male, not dominated, but there's more men in training as opposed to grooming, vet care, and all that other stuff, because that encompassed vet care as well.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
So those numbers actually include veterinarians,
vet techs, groomers, trainers.
Huh.
Yeah.
So trainers, how many or
it was like 65%
I would honestly,
women.
I would have thought it would be even lower with what you see online and all the you know the trainers who get the most attention. Well, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but it's a lot of men.
Mm-hmm. They're without bashing them in any capacity, because we've learned from a lot of.
Oh my gosh, I've learned from so many
great trainers,
guy trainers. Yeah.
They're the loudest.
They're the loudest. Like. Yeah,
and I think
they're also really like they're really hard on other trainers. Well, I guess
yes and no. Some of them are.
I mean, there's some
stay
female
away
trainers
from that.
That especially with the force-free community, that just seem to really, really, really believe in what they're saying, and kind of bash everybody. But they seem to especially bash the male trainers.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it's part of the equation, which I've never quite understood.
No, because you start off with a male
I started
trainer.
out, I started learning under a former sheriff down in Florida, and then I switched up here to Massachusetts, and I started working under Chris Murphy. Yeah. He's former military, and at that time when I was learning under his superior tutelage, he was a cop. Yeah. He was a Medford cop. He didn't have a canine unit though, which I always thought was kind of interesting. Yeah. So he trained me along with Patty Burns, so a woman, how to how to become a dog trainer. Yeah. And we were all very similar mindsets. But I did that for a while. I shadowed under trainers for 3 years, almost 3 years.
It was about the same for me.
So, and and for me, it the battle of the sexes in this industry, I didn't really care about it. Of course, I never really care about that. Period. I'm like, I've always been
like, what? Why?
I've always been a little bit of a tomboy, and sometimes a lot of a tomboy. But other ways, I'm really girly. Like, I get my nails done, and I wear my jewelry, and I mean, I don't really have much hair to speak of, so I don't really do much with my hair. But
Well,
But
both
yeah,
you and I are kind of like that.
Yeah,
Like,
you're girly in certain ways
and others I'm
boyish
not.
and yeah.
I do, like, I've gotten along with the male trainers that I've worked with in the past. You know, I learned to under one for a little while for the one company that I worked for, and then I shadowed one pretty much every time I could that I was able to, and I learned I wouldn't say I learned the most from him, but I think that what I learned from him in particular really connected everything for me.
Yeah.
And it kind of was that, like, I was in a place in that moment where I wasn't sure if I was still in it. You know what I mean? It was really like working on me. There was a lot of like drama and whatnot. And
over there.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if like I was going to continue. And then he kind of really reinvigorated that for me. Yeah. And then I just kind of continued. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go at this seminar and that seminar.
Right.
And that really kind of drove into
well, I
that
encourage
part of things.
everybody, you know, my trainers and other staff members who, you know, aren't really focused on training, but we do a lot of structure in our daycare enrichment, you know, filled days. Read stuff and listen to and watch trainers that they don't necessarily even agree with.
Yeah, no.
Right? Like, I am not a Victoria Stilwell fan at all in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But I'll still listen every now and again just to kind of see. I mean, sometimes it's just a laugh, but but you know, you never know. You might, you know, just catch a little
one thing or a way that they explain things is usually my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a trainer, who's based out of Pittsburgh, I listen to a lot for how he describes things to the client.
Yeah.
And when I ask clients sometimes, like, who have you listened to? And he's one of them a lot of the times. So he is good at explaining, and I've gotten a lot of my verbiage down because of him.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because you're flooded with the male side of things. But when you go to like IACP, when we went to IACP, or you go to, you know, this, that, or the other thing, it's women. It's primarily
it's
women.
all hallways filled with women, right? There's just, as far as the people that are attending these conferences, there's a lot of women.
That's a lot of women.
That's a lot of women.
And everyone's really, like, when we went to ICP, everyone's really supportive.
Really nice,
and
very
really
open-minded.
nice and open-minded.
Yeah. Nobody was, you know, there wasn't a lot of that. I mean, sometimes in the training community, you know, the whole idolizing a trainer and, you know, treating them like they're some superstar. That gets to be a bit much.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know, can we just focus on what's important, right? And stop, you know, kissing that person's ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little gross. But, and I would tell you that probably those individuals look at that as, hey, it's a necessary
evil,
part of, a necessary evil part of the equation. But they're just trying to disseminate this information that you're hoping someone is going to find useful. Another thing that's kind of happening is there's a lot of bashing, big social bashing, major bashing. And in the quote unquote balanced world, I don't know what the hell we are. I don't like labels anyway. But
I'm a dog trainer.
Right? I'm like, I've done, you know, force-free to the point where I've had a dog where I couldn't even say no. I couldn't even make real eye contact with until I started to really, you know, spend days working with that dog and earning that dog's trust. All the way to, you know, Schitzend, and everything in between. You know, we look at dogs as individuals, we being, you know, the trainers here at the Common Dog. Dogs are individuals, and they all need to be trained differently, right? You have to approach them all differently. There's no cookie cutter approach. So to only use these tools or not use these tools, or only train this way or not train that way, you know, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot. And all this, it's science and this and that. And I'm like,
learned.
God
I mean, I would never use a clicker 10 years ago.
Right.
And now I do on occasion.
I still
use
suck
a clicker.
with clicker training, but I think it's a lazy factor. I'm like, there's too much going on with my hands. I have really bad arthritis in this hand. I'm like, I'm just going to use my voice. But that's the nice thing about working with open-minded trainers, it's just like there's a lot of ways, a lot of different approaches, and that's sort of the really cool thing about working with a facility that has multiple trainers, because your dog maybe that comes in for a one-on-one session, or even especially a board and train, there's multiple trainers there to connect, so we can get it done faster. And there's how many chefs in the kitchen, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
we're not spoiling the soup, are we? Nope. So yeah, it's been quite a ride to see the change from, I've been training for
a long
30
time.
years. Yeah, a long time. Long time. And to see all the changes that have come about, because when I actually first started a long time ago, it was only men.
Yeah.
It was all men trainers. I was into horses back then as well, and my trainer was for my horse was a guy. I mean, we saw a lot of female riders, but the trainers were all men.
Yeah.
The Olympic riders were men.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's definitely, as women have been able to spread our wings, the big differences in what we've been able to accomplish in 50 years now that we have rights, and I can have a credit card.
Oh my God.
Lots of things have changed. So, but we being the female version of the humanoids walking around on the planet, we're caretakers and we're fixers, and so it's obvious. It makes sense for us to train dogs. So and work with dogs, and that's sort of where I found my niche, was pet dog training. I started out a long time ago with protection. And I just didn't love the feel of it. It was cool. It was interesting.
I dabbled in it for a hot minute.
But I really, once I got involved with Murphy and pet dog training, I was like, oh, this is great. I get to help families keep their dog.
Oh, I know.
Right? I get to see, kids are able to keep their dog, and it's no longer a risk factor. And I mean, there are times when you're like, yep, nope, this isn't, you shouldn't, this is the wrong dog for this family. And that's really hard conversation.
Do you find, so like you're much different, not much different, but for you, it's probably different than it was for me in the beginning, that, while primarily most of our clients are women, even in couples, the women start the process. But when I first started, had such a hard time with some men when I would train. With the male clients, when they don't listen to me, they don't give me respect. I'm tiny. I'm 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And when I started, I was 26, so I was young.
Yeah.
Did you struggle? Because I struggled.
So, I'm not 5 feet tall. I'm 5'8". I'm not 6 foot, but we also have different personalities. I've always been a type A personality, rather demonstrative kind of person. Don't sugarcoat much. I'm a lot calmer than I was 30 years ago. And I'll tell you straight out that if I got pushback from the man, like the husband, the partner, whatever, I took it a little too personally. Now I just sort of giggle. I'm like, oh, whatever. But back then it was an affront. I'm like, you hired me, right? And I would definitely kind of put the ball back in their court and say things like, well, it's obvious you don't believe what I'm saying.
Right.
This is a waste of your money and my time.
Yeah.
Right. And when you say that, just bald face, kind of like out like that, people back up usually.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody stand up and walk out. I have had a couple clients when I was a little, more demonstrative.
Intense.
Never call me back. Like last week. Never call me back.
Yeah.
I've had that a couple times. But I didn't have it anywhere near as much as A, I thought I would.
Yeah.
As B, because Murphy warned me about it. He's like, he saw it with women in the force.
Yeah.
He's like, look, you're probably going to get some pushback from the husband or, whatever, or you'll feel they're sort of half listening or kind of poo-pooing. I mean, I still run into it. I just don't take it personally. It's their problem. It's not mine, right? I'm there to do the best job I can for their dog and for them.
The only person they're really hurting is, them and the dog.
And the dog, right? Because I'm a pretty damn good trainer.
Yeah.
So I've been able to really turn some families' lives completely around.
Yeah.
Like, dog was going to get the green needle, and that's really what I focused on for years. Was dogs that were aggressive towards their owners, towards the potentially the younger folks in the family. But oftentimes it was single people or a couple whose dog was going at them or going at their other dog in their house, in the pack, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I would say, look, you don't have to take what I'm saying and do anything with it. But ultimately, I promise you, if you just try a couple of the things that we've gone over here today, there's a wow factor. You're gonna be like, wow, this really worked. Because sometimes you're just too close to the situation. I mean, I've had somebody help train. I hired a trainer to help me train my dog.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just too close to it.
Yeah. I'm always like, what am I doing with Lana? And you're like,
hello,
duh.
you know how to fix this. I mean, so it's sometimes just having somebody from the outside look in and go, oh, maybe if you just kind of do this a little bit. It's not rocket science, honestly. I mean, there are times when, we've brought dogs in here to the Common Dog where only one person can train that dog because that dog is very, very specific.
Yeah.
And that's not always the most senior trainer. Sometimes it's who the dog really connects with. We've had a few dogs that we've brought in for training that wanted nothing to do with me. And I was so grateful to have other trainers with me so we could help those clients, right? Because when you're a solo trainer and the dog doesn't connect with you and it's just not going well, that's really hard. Because
and then it takes longer.
It takes longer. I mean, you usually get there, but it can take a long time. So, it's a crazy industry. But I don't think it's any more crazy than any other industry where you're paying somebody for their advice, whether it's the medical community, right?
Hairstylists.
Right, everything.
Like, people, I don't know I feel bad for hairstylists. A lot of people poo-poo them so much. They're just like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, sure, but they take classes, they go to school, they continue their education, they have to have a license, and a lot of them continue their education after the fact. And
talk about putting up with people who are kind of crazy and overly dramatic. I mean, women take their hair very seriously. Like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
I could never.
Mine is a disaster today.
I could never deal with that. I have a hat on for a reason.
Yeah. I think too, like, for me, the biggest thing that kind of helped me get through a lot of this stuff was the other women in my circle.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't have my two best friends that I talk to pretty much every single day, I don't know how, like, I would get through some of the dramatics of, like,
well, I always tell you, don't let the highs get too high.
Don't let
the lows get too low, no matter what you're talking about, right? So, as long as you're always doing your best, as long as you're always striving to help people reach their goals, as long as you're always continuing to expand your mind and learn, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I don't understand all the strife in the industry right now. Everybody, kind of bash each other and be like, well, you're abusing dogs, or like, well, you're an idiot. Like, that would never work, and you're promoting people putting their dogs down and blah, blah, blah.
It might have been somebody else that I was learning from that said, when you attack somebody's way of training, you attack them because that is their identity. Like, training is for a lot of people who are trainers, it's their identity. It's their, this is who I am. This is how I train, and you're attacking me personally.
I don't think I said that.
No, it wasn't you. It was somebody else then.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but they said, and it kind of made sense to me. It's like, this is so emotional.
But yet I wouldn't put myself in that
But you, yeah, because
setting.
you're different.
I don't know, sure, if that's a compliment.
Well, it's always so funny to me because, like, a lot of the trainers that I've spoken to over the years, and they're very much like me, like very not necessarily type A. Like, there's a few that I've met that have been type A, but it's a lot of us are like over here on the ADHD line.
Oh, yeah, another thing, yeah, that I don't fall into.
That I feel like it's very common. It's
Yeah.
very common that we all are like
Y'all,
over here with
I don't
sensory
know,
problems.
Drank the wrong water or something.
Over here with sensory problems, and we get why they have sensory problems, you
Right.
know. So I think that has something to do with it too. Like, we're like, oh, I get it.
Well, I think I'm very dog-like, but I'm probably the asshole mean dog that has no patience for any of the other dogs in the yard.
So what you're saying is you're Rhea.
I am my dog. That is true. I am my Belgian Malinois who has no patience for anybody or anything.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's just fun. Like, it's funny to think about how I thought about things like 10 years ago in being a baby trainer.
Yeah.
And
Baby trainer.
Baby
Baby
trainer.
training.
And then, you know, how I'm just like, whatever. Like, now, like, I was like, oh my God. Like, I would freak out if, I don't know, a client was like remotely unhappy. And now I'm just like, I'll fix it. It's fine. Like,
Right.
it'll be fine. I'll just have to talk to them more and fix it, and it'll
Right.
be fine.
Well, I think what so many people don't realize but should is training is about communicating.
Mm.
Like, we're teachers. The difference is part of our repertoire is we have to teach the animal or the thing that doesn't speak, right? But we also have to teach, more than half of this is teaching the owners.
It's like 70%,
I mean,
90% of it.
No, I don't know. I've had some dogs that maybe put that percentage down a little bit, but seriously, I mean, I've always said, look, I could probably get your dog to jump through hoops of fire in 3 days. Or maybe 3 hours. It's the real training comes from you.
Right.
And I have to teach you how to get the same results from your dog.
Yeah.
And you're not a dog trainer.
Yeah.
You're whatever you do for a living. And that's why I have this job.
And a
is to
lot
help
of the
you
time,
get to where you need to be.
we're training women a lot of the time.
lot.
And we are soft. We want to cuddle. We want to give things
of us.
affection. We want to give
Some of us
things
just want to bite you in the ass and say, come on, let's go.
we want to love things. We want to make things, happy and all that other stuff. So it's hard for some of our clients who are women to be more firm and
their
hard
first
and-
reaction is to, mollify,
Mhm.
and cuddle and calm. And most of the time, that's the worst thing you can do to the dog, especially in a situation where they're experiencing strife.
Yes.
So it's like all you're doing is telling the dog that that's good. That's how you want them to behave.
Mhm.
And when you see the light click on, with the owner, it's so great because you're like, oh, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Pearl's gonna go home and their owner gets it and they're gonna do the stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be so happy. The dog's gonna be happy. The owners are gonna be happy. I just want people to be happy. I just want people to be happy. That's all I want. That's why I don't get involved in all the crap on social media where everybody's bashing each other. I'm like, why don't you just all that time that you're spending writing these horrible things about other dog trainers and so. Why don't you just go train more dogs?
Yeah.
Like, just take all that energy, because a lot of them are really good trainers.
Yeah.
Just take all that energy and
Go
all that
train more dogs.
time that you're using to be nasty and horrible and condescending, and just go train more dogs. Right? Just go train more dogs. Go make more people happy.
Yeah.
Go make more dogs happy.
So, as a woman business owner, are there any things that like you found were a struggle, not just here, but when you've had your other companies too?
Well, I owned a mortgage company, I owned a utility company, I owned a technical editing company. So this isn't my first foray into business or entrepreneurship. I've always been sort of bossy. So owning the company always sort of worked well for me because I'm pretty sure I'd get fired like pretty early on if I had to work for somebody else. I mean, I know there are days you yourself want to fire me, so I'm like, I'll just go in my office. So I've never had any problems with male employees until this company.
Yeah.
All my employees were executives before this company. I never had employees that clocked in or out, or, they were all salesmen, right? So salesmen, what do they want? They want to make money, right? So if you weren't making money, then it was, let's figure out what you're doing wrong
to make money.
My job was to help them make more money. So I was, when I bought the Common Dog, it was the first time I ever had employees that had to clock in or out. Like, I'd never had an employee that had to clock in or out.
And then take
Everybody's
breaks.
been salaried.
Yeah.
And then I remember I made the first week schedule, and there's no breaks on it. Like, people are just like
going whenever they want.
Well, no, they didn't take breaks.
Oh, wow.
So they're like, oh my gosh, this horrible new boss, she doesn't let us take breaks. And I'm like, what? Just take a break. Go eat.
What are you talking about?
Just figure it out. No, I'm like, no, I have to schedule it because otherwise what I found is they all take the break at the same time. And that does not work out when you're supposed to be caring for dogs. So it was a learning curve for me, for sure.
This place sounded like the Wild
I
West.
did run, it was a little crazy. It was the inmates running the prison a little bit. But I did, when I worked for Ziff Davis, I had clients like Bill Gates and Michael Dell and, just big names. And I was young. I was in my, 20s, late 20s. And these were my clients who I was paid to wine and dine, right? Because I was in advertising. So, and we had huge budgets with which to wine and dine our clients. So I remember feeling like, I'm really out of my league. Like these are, I'm 27 years old and I have this budget where I can, take you to a dinner where showing my age here, 1997, I'm dropping $2,000 on dinner with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right. So that was weird with the whole guy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But because of that, I think I kind of got over it. Like, I have danced on a tabletop with Bill Gates. Like, it's,
everything else is like whatever.
Failed in comparison, right? Like, so it was really crazy. It was weird to be in advertising in the late 90s. Anybody that is watching this that's ever been in advertising sort of knows what I'm talking about. But if you were doing it in the 80s and 90s, like, oh my gosh, we could do carte blanche. We could do anything we wanted. I could, rent a hotel room, a presidential suite, and
do whatever.
Have dancers come and this and that. It was nuts. So
the 90s were great.
The 90s were a different time, that is for sure.
And I was whittle, but it was great.
it was wild. And then when I got into the mortgage industry and I started working, I didn't just do mortgages. I got involved with financial planners and really, looked, at the whole financial package with clients.
That was during like the recession, wasn't it?
I got into that in 2000.
Okay.
The year 2000. So, and I did that for about a decade.
So around about when the recession hit, isn't it?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
The house, the
housing crash.
Housing crisis. So, but that, never really ran into issues with that with men. It was really with this company and this industry that I ran into, like, men thinking that women shouldn't be doing anything or running anything or making any choices that's been sort of interesting because I didn't, obviously, that didn't sit so well.
Oh, I bet.
That didn't sit so well with me.
I wonder.
But there are a lot of really good women trainers in
Oh,
this
yeah.
industry. We're just too busy training to really make all this noise and,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's like in the beginning when I was like a baby trainer, it sucked because like I didn't see anybody who was like me.
Right.
The women trainers that are loud are the force-free side of things. So I
Yeah,
didn't
mostly,
see,
yeah.
I didn't get to see anybody like me.
Well, I still don't see them train. All I hear them. I just not seeing a lot of training going on. But
that's pretty much, that's most.
and it's so funny because, you know, we all use force-free methods.
We all do.
All of us use force-free methods, right?
Mhm.
So, and if you use a leash and a collar,
It's
you
not
know,
force-free.
you're all everything. Everybody's in at least some 1 foot, a little bit in all 4 quadrants. So, and we're talking about training stuff when, you know, whatever it's. Everybody uses a little bit of everything, you know. And sometimes you have to pull out the stops, right? So, and all these opinions about, you know, well, let's dissect this and talk about what this trainer's doing wrong here. I'm like, why don't you point out what's doing right?
Also,
If we had those videos where they point out what's going right and somebody's watching it, don't you think that would be more informative, more helpful of the takeaway?
we should do that.
Because it doesn't sell it, does
Right.
it?
No, it doesn't
No.
sell it, but we should do that.
We should do that. We should start analyzing what trainers are doing right. Now, of course, you know the other trainers are going to jump in and be like, "You're wrong." Like, whatever. That's why I don't get into the whole social crap because I'm not the most patient person, and I really don't want to get into these pissing contests with these people online. I'm like, if it's working, it's not wrong,
Right.
unless you're hurting the dog.
Right.
Then you're an idiot and you should be stopped.
Right.
But like,
I mean, we've gone to seminars and I've just been like, while you're like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to be over here in my millennial bubble, like where there's no conflict and you're just like, I'm like, oh my God.
Conflict is my middle name, which is why I stay away from this crap, right? That's why I just want to make people happy and train dogs. I don't want to get into some fight with, you know, I don't know, Joe Blow.
Yeah.
About whether or not my timing was off or my prong collar's too low.
If you watch any trainer for an hour, you can probably find about 5 things they did wrong.
This is why I have you watch me train. And what's one of the things I ask you?
What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? What did I forget to do? What did I do wrong? Right? No one's perfect.
No.
Oh my gosh. If I had grown up during this time when there's cameras everywhere and everybody's judging, my teenage years would have looked a whole lot different, and I'm sure incarceration would have been involved more than once. So I would hate to be, you know, a trainer that's out there and constantly being judged. You know, like that sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel bad. I did have I do have a friend who was a big social media trainer, and he did not do well for a little while because of it. It really
eats away at you too.
It messes you up. Like, people say awful things. They bring up your past.
They make judgments on your physique. I'm like, what?
When we talked
what
about
does it matter what I look like?
Yeah, when we talked about doing this podcast, you were like, you have to.
I fought you so hard.
You fought me so hard.
I fought
was
you
like,
for a
whatever.
long time too. I'm like, I'm never doing this. I'm never doing. All I want to do is train dogs and work with my staff and make the best place that I can for people to bring their dogs.
When we went to ICP
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was where I was like, freaking bitch, you need to talk to people. I was like, you need to talk to people.
But I don't want to. I want to talk to dog owners.
But
and really, that's it.
when we sat down and we talked about this, you're like, you know, if you're gonna put your face on there, you have to be prepared for what people are gonna say. And I was like, oh, I know what people are gonna say. Like, they're gonna say this, they're gonna say that, they're gonna say all kinds of things. Judge me based off of the dog I own. Base me, you know, based off of my looks. This, that, and the other thing.
Right.
I was like, whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
My dog doesn't have a perfect heel. I don't really care. I don't care. It behaves.
My boxer is as dumb as a box of rocks. And she's so dumb. I love her so much, but boy, she is really not bright.
I love dumb dogs though.
Yeah. I mean, my Belgian Malinois, she's insane, but most of them are. She's really bright, but she's definitely a little tapped.
And I have talked to clients who've watched this and they said that one of their favorite things is that you and I shit talk our own dog. They're like, it makes me feel better. And I'm like, well, like, I don't, like, you go into that yard and I can get every single dog in that yard to behave for me, but my own half of the time, because she's like, screw you, Mom. Like,
well, neither of my dogs can go in my yard.
Yeah.
Neither of them.
Yeah.
And after 6 dogs that I've owned that can't go in my dog daycare.
6 of them.
6. The only common denominator is me. I'm the asshole owner. Like, clearly,
most of them were boxers.
All of them were boxers.
Except for Rhea. And Rhea's a Malinois. I mean, the Malinois or something.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily...
And people forget that boxers, it's a bully breed. Like, they are jerks, and they're bullies.
Yeah.
And they often don't do well in a dog daycare setting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with Rhea, my Mal, there's just too much stimulation.
Yeah.
Like, she has such amazingly horrible high, wonderful prey drive. Like, there's just, I can't
get her
begin to risk it. Mm-hmm. I finally got her to stop trying to kill my chickens. She still wants to, but she doesn't. So.
I'm just going to sit here and vibrate
Right,
instead.
she just vibrates. A little teeth chatter. She's crazy. But I like this cuddle time.
This is much more calm.
I don't have to know so much about what the hell I'm talking about. I can just blather on about opinions and pet this dog.
Pearl.
Are you super?
I would say too, for the both of us. Yeah. Well, I don't know, because when you started out, were you with John?
Yeah. Well, no. When I first started down in Florida, no.
What about when you first started working for Chris?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then when you
actually when I started working at the Common Dog, I was with John, and having John there supporting me both financially and emotionally, he was like, I said, I have to quit my job. I just can't do this meaningless crap
I remember you talking
anymore. I need to do something. And I knew I could make money at it. As it's something I've always been good at, is making money. No matter what the industry, I've always kind of found a way to do it. So I could do something I liked. Right. And he was so supportive and was just like, yeah, baby, go do it.
Yeah.
So we had lawn furniture as furniture, basically plastic, as our living room furniture. And we lived on a very, very tight budget, because the trade-off was, hey, you're going to teach me how to train dogs, and I'm going to, help run your front desk at the Common Dog. And that's how I became acquainted with the Common Dog back in 1999.
Yeah.
And Patty and Chris were both wonderful. They were both really good teachers.
Yeah. I learned from Patty too.
Yep. Yeah. But big, large base of knowledge there. Mm-hmm. And a good teacher, a good teacher. I learned a lot from her. And then, back when I'd done that for like a year and a half. Then, John and I kind of looked at each other and was like, okay, well, that's enough being poor. It's time to, go start making some money. So I'm like, okay, I think, my training's done. And I got another corporate job. And I did dog training on the side for a little while as my corporate career afforded me the time. Because, again, I was in sales. As long as I was making my quotas, nobody cared where I was or what I was doing. So I could work with dogs on the side, and I didn't get paid a whole lot, because it was that bleeding heart, like, this dog is going to get, we used to call it the green needle, now it's pink, but the dog was going to get put down.
There's a lot of trainers that discount their work. A lot of trainers.
A lot, and I did, and I tell you, that is something that I would give advice on a young new trainer, is don't give it away for free. Your time is valuable. Mm-hmm. So, but I always felt so bad, because so often it was a family that couldn't afford it, and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Some of it the hard way.
Yeah.
And to this day, there really isn't much I'd change.
Yeah. When I started, Carl was working two
jobs,
full-time jobs.
Your husband, Carl,
My husband. and he was still taking his apprenticeship class.
Yeah.
Because he's in the union, but without him, and then subsequently my mother-in-law, because, you know, I decided to get pregnant within minutes of working here.
Right. Was it a decision? I don't think so.
It happened. It just happened. Skylar,
yeah, that was great. That was
Skylar turned 11 a few days ago. Well,
Yay,
a week
Skylar.
ago. But if I didn't, and he was just like, yeah, do it. Do what you got to do. I moved away from home to be with my husband.
Right.
I had no idea.
Well, you moved here to Boston. You didn't, other than the Red Sox, you didn't know anything about Boston.
No, I was like, I've been here. Like, I've been here a few times, whatever.
Right.
I you know, was with Carl, and I would take him to work. So that was how we would see each other, because he was working the two jobs. He was working
so many hours.
And I was looking for a job. I was looking for dog walking jobs, all the other stuff, because I was like, I've done banking. I hate it. My best friend still does it. I don't know how she does it. But I was like, I can't do anything like that ever again. Yeah. And then so I started this, and then I walked in here, had my interview, and I was like, okay.
Who hired you? Did I hire you? I had to have
hired me. Ashley was in on the interview process.
Oh, okay.
So, so you and Ashley were the first ones that I met, and both of you were very nice, right away.
So nice.
And then, you know, I didn't have anyone here, so this subsequently became my family per just like need.
Right.
You know,
well, you still don't have any friends. Neither do I. It's all about work. She has 2 friends.
I have 2 friends, and I've had them for a long time, and that's it. And you know, between you and Anne and June, I think you were the first person to buy me anything for Skylar. Oh. When I still have that too. It was a little stuffed brown dog with a blanket. I still have it. Now it's in Carl's room. Yeah. But you know, if I didn't have my husband supporting me, and then my mother-in-law after the fact to help watch Skylar.
Childcare, yeah.
Because it's not just like I came back after Skylar was born part-time, and then I moved into full-time as we got comfortable. And I still had to follow Patty around to learn. Right. So I was doing like 50 hours. Right. A week. Because
you were doing that in your off time.
Mind you, my husband is working
2 jobs.
2 jobs.
Right.
And I don't know. I think about it now.
I don't have the energy.
And I'm like,
I'm old now. Like, I've been doing this so long.
I don't know how we did it. I really don't know how we did it, but we did. Yeah. You know, and it's benefited me. Like, the payout has been immense. Yeah. So.
Well, you love what you do.
I love what I do, and I make a living of doing what I do. So.
Damn fine living too.
Thanks, Laura. I love going down and you know, flashing that in front of my family members who thought that me doing dog training was playing with dogs.
I think my father-in-law has finally accepted the fact that this is successful. I remember when back in 2012, when I was talking to Chris Murphy about buying the business, and my father-in-law was very concerned. He never really voiced it to me, but he did talk to John a little bit, my husband, and he's like, "Doggy, what? I mean, really? You know?" Yeah.
I mean,
because I had owned a successful financial firm, and you know, so the business head was there, but the industry was kind of foreign. Like, we're gonna do what? Like, how are you ever gonna make money at that?
I was thinking about,
and I was like, watch me.
I was thinking about that one time, like the difference between like doing how you were doing training to then this is like a vast difference.
Yeah. There's a learning curve.
Yeah. So it's like totally different. And I mean, even like as I've changed in positions here, like everything's always been kind of like a learning curve.
Right. Well, I think what so many trainers, you know, discount doggy daycare, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're ruining dogs and so on. And I'm sure there are plenty of places that are, just like there are plenty of really bad trainers out there that are ruining dogs. But the training the dogs part is a whole lot easier than the business part.
Oh God, yeah.
It's so
The training, the dogs
easier.
part doesn't stress me out nearly as much
Nowhere near
as
as
the
much.
schedule, the
just
social
having
media, the
employees
marketing,
and the
the this, the that,
building
and
and
then the
the-
other
yeah.
thing. If they're coming for the power washer
Right, the
tomorrow,
power washer broke, or there's a leak in the ceiling.
That stuff
or...
is far beyond comparison of being more
This is,
stressful. This is easier.
This is the easy part,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the part to enjoy. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the payoff, is we get to do this, right? We have to do all the other things.
Yeah.
And I love the daycare setting. I love how we approach it in terms of it's training based, and all the dogs that come here get worked to some extent. What you hear?
Is
Your
that a
little
people?
flappy ear. Who's that? Is that Brandon? I think it's Brandon.
That's my favorite.
There you go. Go get him, Pearl. Go get him. She's like, no, I'm not getting off these comfy beds. Look who's got food. Go get it.
There you
Yay!
go.
Well, and with that, we'll wrap it up. What is our tip for today? We should probably still end with a tip. Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked out for us.
Yeah.
We had great support because we have the most awesomest husbands in the whole world. And we're both pretty pig-headed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've had moments
Tell me
where
I can't do something.
I'll do it.
And I'll show you you're wrong.
Exactly.
So,
So.
but yeah, stay true to yourself. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.